Ooh. Sisters of Mercy, Floodland. This is her second record. Eldritch, who's the main songwriter, he basically kicked out the whole band. So Andrew Eldritch just fucking kicked out the whole band after the first record. He's a singer. He's this guy. He just said, you know what, guys? If you don't want to do what I want to do, just get out of here. But Andrew Eldritch, then just became the only real member of Sisters of Mercy. Patricia Morrison is in all the art for this LP. I have a press copy. I have no idea why, but she's in all the art. She does a lot of background vocals here, but really she doesn't do a lot. If you really want to know about this record, you need to listen to Dominion, Mother Russia. You can listen to the other songs, but this Corrosion, Mother Russia, Dominion, those are the songs that make this record. What happened in England in the 80s is just all the music that was influenced by punk, influenced by Sex Pistols, by Buzzcocks, by The Clash. All these bands, instead of just copying the punk that they heard, they just used those elements and just kept adding all these other genres to it. A lot of what happened in post-punk was embracing electronics to make that sound. The most important thing about punk is that punk itself is just almost like a match, a catalyst. It's not the sound that everybody's copying and making. They use that ethos to make music like this. So Sisters of Mercy is a punk band, a rock band, but it came out in that post-punk era, which is, let's grab all these elements and really just in a blender, just let's take 20 elements. Let's take dance music, let's take electronics, synths, let's take noise, industrial, goth. I can keep going. Sister Mercy is a unique band because it's not just doing one sound, it's not doing two sounds, it's not doing three sounds, it's combining 20 sounds in a blender, and somehow this unique one element comes out of it, and that's what makes a band great. Yeah, so in my copy, it came with all these press statements from the label Elektra. So this is great, Sister Mercy. There is rock that preaches, there is rock that pouts, there is rock that prances and parties. There's also the rock that's scoured by a stream that wells from the blackest blues, flows through Lou Reed's velvet thrash, gathering momentum, bursts the doors of Jim Morrison's perceptions. Then there's the Sisters of Mercy, and there is their new album, Floodland. Let's see what this is. Ooh, strange and interesting. This is a Melvins solo EP. This is King Buzzo. So it's actually great that this was the solo EP I actually chose, because King Buzzo is the main member of the Melvins. He's the guitarist, he's the main songwriter. These records are parodies of the Kiss solo records. Kiss released solo records, which is Ace Frehley, Gene Simmons, Paul Stanley, Peter Criss. So Melvins, even the logo here is a parody of the Kiss logo. These are exact parodies. If you look at the records, the Kiss records, you'll see the signatures, the whole logo, the name, the painting. At some point we'll talk about the other ones, but I can show you that the bass player Joe Preston and Dale Crover. So, these are the solo records. And actually there's another one that just came out. These solo records came out originally in, I think, 92. This year, 2017, they just released a new one with their new bass player, Steve McDonald. But these are solo records. These are not Melvins records. As much as this says Melvins here, this is basically just King Buzzo playing all the instruments except for the drums. The drummer for this album is Dave Grohl. Dave Grohl uses the alias Dale Nixon. So it's basically a solo record of King Buzzo playing with Dave Grohl. What happened here is that all these solo records were purposefully made as solo records. They did not want this to be let's make a Melvins record. They really wanted to make something different. If you look for Dave Grohl's solo demo, which is a demo he'd made while he was in Nirvana, the last song on this EP, Skeeter, is in that demo. This song has nobody except Dave Grohl. King Buzzo doesn't actually play on the last song in this record, but if you look at that demo tape, there's a lot of early Foo Fighters songs. These songs sound like Melvins songs. In the end, King Buzzo is the main member of the Melvins. These songs sound like Melvins songs. That's what he writes. but there's that interesting element. And at the same time, this was released right after they released Lysol. By that time, that was the most extreme version. If you buy the CD, it's one track, 30 minutes. It's 6 songs actually, but it's one track in the CD. This is a great record, and again, dedicated to the other members of the Melvins, to Dale and Joe. Nice for Buzzo to do that. I will say that of the solo records, the most interesting one is Dale Crover's, because he writes a lot of Melvin songs, but they're not in the majority. But he has his own band called Altamont. He just actually released a solo record. But his record is really interesting because you can understand what his influence in the Melvins is. The Melvins is, for as much as anybody knows, Buzzo and Dale, nobody else. So 2 people are the Melvins, and this is one of them. So this record sounds pretty much like the Melvins.